We're all doomed, but not really. I'm here in the Philippines. I thought I would do a video here on the coronavirus, talk about some of my experiences here, what's going on. If you have more questions, put them down in the comments below, and I'll maybe even reply to some of those. But let's see what we can find out talking about the coronavirus today. So the first thing to talk about is the lockdown that they put us on. Some government officials will say it's a lockdown, some say it's not. Here's what it actually is. There is a curfew. You can't go out past 8 o'clock until 5 in the morning unless you have a reason. The reasons would be like if you have to go to work, emergency situations. They also said that all land, sea, and air travel domestically are banned into Metro Manila. I kind of put an asterisk by that because you can technically still travel back and forth if you have a business that you own in Manila or if you work at a company. The Victories, which is the main way to travel around the buses, they seem like they're going to be still running. If you have a car, you might have your car searched and your temperature checked. So you can technically go back and forth, so I wouldn't say it's like a full lockdown. I mean, you have to realize there's millions of people that probably commute back and forth to Metro Manila, so that's an interesting way. They also said that they're not going to let any foreigners from tons of countries, I can maybe list them in the description, enter, but they're still going to have international flights, so that's kind of odd. Some people may have layovers in Manila, but usually don't have a lot of layovers in Manila. Usually you lay over somewhere to get to Manila. So it's very interesting. They've also have had mixed messages on if people should work. They encourage people not to go to public spaces, but not everyone can work remotely. I mean, if you're in the service industry, how do you work remote? You can't. So we'll see what happens with that. I do have a call center here that we are taking it day by day and what the government gives us. We are going to possibly run normal this week with the lockdown, but we may end up changing that based off what the government recommends, which would be a huge process. We also may have people work up towards Clark Airport. There's a lot of call centers up there, so we're going to see what happens with that. The reason people here in the Philippines are so nervous, the healthcare system isn't great. It's also not available to everybody here. So people are afraid if they get sick or their family gets sick, how will they take care of their family and things like that. So I understand their concern, but it's also really bad if you completely close off all immigration here because they make so much money on tourism, they have so many overseas workers, so they have a very hard time on deciding what the best path is. So we'll see what happens. The government is doing a not lockdown for the next, I don't know if it's 15 or 30 days. I'll maybe post a link to it below. So we'll see how that goes. I think people will panic. I'll show some videos here of people, like literally some of the streets are empty usually in high traffic times. People are very nervous. I'll also show some videos of the panic buying. So here first is just some of the streets. Usually this road is packed with the feeling around here. It's not so much. People are afraid to go out. And here are some videos of the shopping, people panic buying. The lines, because of the coronavirus, slowly running out of everything, keeping everybody not panicked. People panicking buying. Lines all the way back to the store.
matagal.
May 13, 14, 18 po.
So panic buying's happening all over the world. Everyone's stocking up on toilet paper. It's kind of funny here. People really don't use toilet paper. They use Tabo. It's like a cup they kind of like wash. I'm not the person to explain that, or if I do explain that, it'll be awkward. So I'll save that maybe for another video. But people are mass buying toilet paper. Hand sanitizer, rubbing alcohol has been sold out for quite a bit. Masks have also been sold out for quite a bit, for quite a long time, because first we had a volcano start at the beginning of the year, and there were a lot of fake masks going around, and then the government was telling people not to mass buy them and try to sell them for more money, but people were still doing that anyway. And then if you were trying to buy off of Shopee or the stores here, there's a good chance that it was a fake. So that was interesting. So there was already a mask shortage, which, to keep in mind, masks are not going to keep you 100% safe, especially if you don't wear it 100% correct and it doesn't have the right grading. And so masks are kind of a false sense of security. Like if you have it on, you're just like, oh, I feel better. So the one thing that they're doing here, to get into any building, they'll take your temperature. You're required to take alcohol and kind of put it on your hands, wipe down. If you have too high of a temperature, they kind of set you to the side. They say they'll send you off to a clinic. I've seen buildings kind of handle it a little bit different depending on if it's a mall or a smaller place. To even get into the place that I'm staying, the building, I mean, the staff knows me, but I still have to take my temperature, rub some alcohol on my hands, and then kind of go from there.
They are 6.1 there.
One thing, closing out this video, I want everyone to be safe. Do the best that you can to protect yourself, your family, your friends. I'm not an expert. I'm kind of just giving you a little bit of insight of what I observe and a little bit of my opinion. So, you know, don't bash me or anything. Especially when I'm doing this stuff off the top of my mind. It's not as clear and thought out. You know, everyone always thinks they know everything. I don't know everything. I try my best. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. So let's see what happens. Hopefully the world gets on a better pace. Hopefully I don't get kicked out of the Philippines. And just stay safe. Peace.